sure it's true when you say I love. It's a sin to tell a lie. Millions of hearts have been broken just because these words were spoken. I, yes I love. If you break my heart, I'll die. So be sure it's true when you say I love you. It's a sin to tell a lie.
Be sure it's true when you say I love you, honey. 'Cause that's a sin to tell a lie. A whole lot of folks' heart has done been broken. Just over a whole lot of foolish words that's been spoken.
I love you, yes I do. I love. If you break my heart, I'll die. So be sure it's true when you say I love you. It's a sin to tell.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. New Vegas here. You're all so great, and we're gonna keep you listening all day. This just in. Word out of Camp Golf is that many NCR Rangers can expect redeployment in the near future. One anonymous soldier said it was part of a new strategy. Moving on. Unconfirmed reports say NCR's General Lee Oliver may have uprooted from his post at Camp McCarran in order to be present at Hoover Dam. NCR sources say that holding the dam against Caesar's Legion has become their main strategic priority, and this move would not be unexpected. The preceding segment was sponsored by the Silver Rush. Silver Rush. Feel the rush of a warm laser in your hand. More music just ahead.
Love me as though there were no tomorrow. Take me out of this world tonight. Take me, make me forget my sorrow. So when I wake tomorrow,
Hey there.
I'll know our love was right. Kiss me as though it were now or never. Teach me all that a heart should know. Love me as though there were no tomorrow. Oh, my darling, love me. Don't ever let me go.
Hey there, need anything?
My darling, love me. Don't ever let me go.
Hey there. Need? Sure. Here. Hey there. Need any? Play the guitar. Play it again. My Johnny. Maybe you're cold, but you're so warm. I was always a for the one they call Johnny Guitar. Play it again, Johnny Guitar. What if you go? What if you stay? I love you. What if you're cruel? You can be kind. I know. There was never a man like my Johnny, like the one they call Johnny Guitar.
This is Mr. New Vegas fanning the flames of your passion. Whoops, better put on my newsman fedora here. The Helios 1 solar power plant remains dormant despite NCR's effort to reactivate the facility. The chief scientist at the plant vowed to fix the problem, blaming it on an atmosphere of, quote, severe underappreciation. Also, rumors persist about a super mutant refuge nestled high in the ski lodge. If you can find it, do not, repeat, do not belittle a super mutant for taking the bunny slope. That's the news. This is Mr. New Vegas filling in for Mr. New Vegas. This next song helped me through a very difficult time in my life, and I hope one day it can do the same for you.
When I got this assignment, I was hoping there'd be more gambling.
McCarran doesn't like it when civilians wander into military outposts, so if you're here on business, better make it quick. Radio signal out here can be pretty spotty because of all the hills. Sometimes our scheduled updates don't go through. When it happens enough times, they send someone over to check up on us. Lately, we've been getting extra medical supplies for some reason. I'm in no rush to give the supplies back, either. All quiet at the moment. Ranger Beaumont is in charge here, but he's off leading a patrol. We're part scout, part commando, part sheriff. The training is brutal, and I'd say 8 out of 10 recruits washes out before the end. Before you get your ranger badge, you've got to prove you can be quieter than a shadow and more ferocious than a deathclaw. Couple dozen, I'd say. Most of them posted at stations like this one. We either man the station or patrol the immediate area. The Rangers mostly draw from the basic NCR army. A trooper who shows exceptional skill at fighting and scouting can be nominated for the training. Sure. Ranger Station Charlie. We're responsible for keeping the highway up through Novak civilized. I shouldn't have said anything in the first place. I'd rather... See you.
What can I do for you? That's not so bad. I'll have you looking as good as new. I mean, what are the chances of me botching another routine procedure in the same day? Alright, I'll just get my scalpel here, and, did I leave that sitting outside? Well, you know what? Free tetanus shot. What can I do for you? Yeah, and I need Pleasure doing business with you.
The women of New Vegas ask me a lot if there's a Mrs. New Vegas. Well, of course there is. You're her. And you're still as perfect as the day we met. more news for you. Citizens of Outer Vegas are flocking to the Strip in droves amid a wave of terror caused by a band of raiders known as the Fiends. Those who can afford passports are...
God damn it. Don't sneak up on me like that. What do you want? Yeah, I guess maybe I am. But not like you. Huh. Maybe it should have been you I was expecting all along. Why are you here? I think you better leave. Wait. You just got into town. Maybe you shouldn't go. Not just yet. Not unless you give me a reason. I need someone I can trust. You're a stranger. That's a start. I want you to find something out for me. I don't know if there's anything to find, but I need someone to try. My wife was taken from our home by Legion slavers one night while I was on watch. They knew when to come and what route to take, and they only took Carla. Someone set it up. I don't know who. My wife's dead. I want the son of a bitch who sold her. I know, all right. That's all you need to know. Bring him out in front of the nest here while I'm on duty. I work nights. I'll give you my NCR beret to put on. It'll be our signal, so I know you're standing with him. And I'll take care of the rest. I need to do this myself. I said it was a start. This town, nobody looks me straight in the eye anymore. Good. I'll make it worth your while. And one more thing. We shouldn't speak again. Not until it's over. No one in town knows that I know what happened to my wife. Best they never know. Or the Legion will be after me next. Yeah.
So be sure, when you say I love you.
How you doing? Hey there. If you want to buy something from a shop, you'll have to wait till it opens. Can't say we spoke much. Boone did most of the buying for him. She was in the store once, but she didn't stay long. Had a look on her face like she'd smelled something sour. But far as I can remember, the gift shop smelled fine. Well, fine as it always does. Sure, but he didn't buy any souvenirs, if that's what you're wondering. Sounded like he didn't have his money with him. His friends seemed disappointed about it. Heck, I would be too if I found such a fine store and left my money elsewhere. Manny might know more about him. Thought he might have been friends with one or two of them. He's up in the dino mouth during the day. Come back soon now.
Hey, welcome. We haven't met yet. You must be new in town. I'm Andy. Carla was a knockout. Whenever Boone walked around with her, he always had this funny grin on his face like he couldn't believe his luck. I know we couldn't. That wasn't the only reason she stuck out, though. That girl never minced words. If she'd had better food or hospitality, she'd let you hear it. Trouble was, she usually had. I don't think she meant it. She really was a sweet girl. I think she just wanted to remind herself that there's still nicer places in this world than Novak. Who could blame her for that? Had his wife taken. I don't think he'll ever be the same as he was. Damn shame. I told the rangers up at the station to keep an eye out, but there's just too much ground out there for them to cover. Look out for...
Sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps
What's going on, man?
spinning. I'd go to sleep again.
Sure I know him. What do you want with him?
If this is just the beginning, my life is gonna be.
Doesn't surprise me. The guy seemed like he'd do whatever it takes to get what he wants. Probably makes a lot of enemies. Well, listen, I can definitely help you find him, but I've got problems of my own. Maybe we can do a trade. You need my help. There's something I need too. Novak, it's home for me now. I want that to be for good. I like it here, and I've left too many homes behind. But the only resource we got here is junk. Without that, people wouldn't have anything to trade. They'd all have to leave. We get most of it up the road from the old rocket test site, but a bunch of ghouls showed up one day and took it over. We can't get in there now. I would, but I've got to watch the road. Caesar's Legion has been taking territory just east of here. They took Nelson. If we let our guard down, they might attack. All it takes for the Legion is for them to sense weakness. Well, they gotta go, or this will be a ghost town before long. Doesn't matter to me what you do. As long as the ghouls are out of there, that's good enough for me. It'd mean a lot to me. I'm Manny. I'm on security detail here. You see a rifle barrel sticking out of the dinosaur's mouth, you got a 50-50 shot it's me. Otherwise, it's Boone. You name it. Anything that comes within 1,000 yards that looks like trouble. Lately, we've been getting ghouls, coming from the road to Repcon out to the west. Quite a few last couple days. The big threat is the Legion coming from the east. If they decide to attack with a full force, they'll run us over. But so far, we've been lucky. Boone's a sniper, same as me. Used to spot for him when we were enlisted with the NCR. After we got out, I talked him into settling down here. So, here we are. I'd introduce you, but we're not so friendly right now. Me and his wife, we didn't see eye to eye on some things. We had some pretty big arguments. One day, she turns up missing, and he hasn't said a word to me since. Man, you name it. See, I grew up in North Vegas. Me and my cousins, we were some bad seeds. Got in with a gang, I loved it. Then something happened, and I couldn't handle it anymore. So I enlisted, earned my future, brought down my best friend to share that future with me. And here was this woman who was too good for it, trying to take him away. So yeah, I didn't see eye to eye with the bitch. Believe me, when I heard the news, my first thought was, I owe somebody big. I figured Boone would come around after a while. But he hasn't. I'm starting to think that if he doesn't find her, things will never go back to the way they were. Man, everybody. That girl didn't have one friend in this whole town. She didn't want any. She wanted to sit in her room all day and make herself miserable, and she went out of her way to be rude. She upset a lot of people. You wouldn't have liked her either. Were they tough? I was in the cons, man. It doesn't get any badder. Oh, it was great. I wouldn't trade it. Something about that lifestyle, the discipline, seeing new places, making people safe. What's not to like? Well, I just felt like it was time, you know? Wanted to have a home. Plus, I was up at Camp Golf when Bitter Springs went down. I faked like I was sick to get out of going because I knew some of the people there. But when everybody came back, nobody would tell me what happened, and people would call us murderers sometimes when we showed up to secure towns. I still don't know exactly. Just that a lot of people died who didn't want to be a part of the fighting at all. I don't blame anybody for it. There's so much chaos when you're fighting. You're lucky not to shoot your own guy. But it did take something out of it for me. This wasn't the same. So when it came time to re-enlist, I just took my papers and walked. Yeah.
Hey! Fine weather for flying. It's times like these that make me miss it all. Vertibird pilot. 71 missions and only lost one chopper. Rotor malfunction over Klamath. Hard landing, but... 4? No, not exactly. It was a long time ago. Things are a lot different these days, and those days are way behind me. I help folks strip down the more complicated bits of salvage they bring in. Engines mostly. The bits and pieces we take out are usually worth more than the whole thing put together. What?
I go riding merrily along. They sing, oh, ain't you glad, jingle, jangle, and that song ain't so very far from wrong.
Howdy. Hey there. You're from out of town, ain't you? Well, to be honest with you, I don't really know them two as well as I might. I remember she had an edge about her, like she'd rather be someplace else. This kind of life ain't for everyone, that's for darn sure. Oh, I tend to my ranch, that's about it. Alice will tell you, I don't get out a whole... You must mean what's left of it. Somebody's been attacking our animals at night. We're down to left. Every night around midnight, Alice and I wake up to some crazy hollering and gunshots. You'd think the world was ending all over again. But it's just one animal each night. They don't take it or carve it up or nothing. Just leave it there, all full of holes. Beg your pardon, mister, but them two-headed beeves ain't worth getting shot over. Not to mention what would happen if half of what Nobark says is true. Best we can hope is that whoever's doing this will move on or get tired of it. I just hope it happens while we still got animals left. Whoever it is, I don't think they're from around town. Seems like they've taken to shooting from the west side.
He came riding from the south side, slowly looking all around.
We'd be grateful, especially if you find them before they get my whole stock. But don't go getting yourself killed over it. Alice and I'll find a way to make do. Always have.
What brings you here? Well, it's the strangest thing. Last time it happened, I could swear I heard someone cry out for help. Sounded like a big fella. But when we finally got up the gumption to go look outside, all we found was our cattle. And I know what they sound like when they get upset. I can't imagine what went on. Dusty can probably tell you more about it. Boom. That's that sniper fella. Works in the dinosaur, right? I only met them but once or twice. They seemed real happy together. I really ought to get to know them better. They're probably nice folk. Oh, we keep to ourselves for the most part. Try not to pry. I think Jeannie Mae gets bothered that we aren't more sociable. But it's just our way. Ain't that we don't appreciate what she's done, managing this town like she has, but I worry she feels that way anyhow. Not that there ain't others who pry around here. That no-bark was skulking around our yard last week. I thought he was our cow killer. Was about to lash him with our bullwhip till I saw who it was. He's harmless, though. Part of me wishes I could see things like he sees them, all full of mystery. I'm not sure who started it. It wasn't a very nice name, but he took to calling himself by it, so we all had to. I don't even remember what his real name is. Anyway, I think it comes from that expression that people say when you're crazy, that not all of your dogs are barking. Poor no-bark. Oh, well, I'm Alice, and you've already met my beau, Dusty. He's sweet, ain't he? I don't care what my mama said. I know how to pick 'em. We set up this ranch years back when But now, with all the danger on I-15, folks are starting to come through here from all over. Novak might just be the next Nevada boomtown. Nice of you.
It was over in a moment and the folks had gathered round. There before them lay the body of the outlaw on the ground.
Morning. What can I do for you? Bye.
When he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his...
Between you and me, I don't think she studied at an accredited institution.
She hasn't paid me anything yet. Should I be worried?
When he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip. Big iron on his hip.
And we're back. This is Mr. New Vegas, and I feel something magic in the air tonight, and I'm not just talking about the gamma radiation. This just in. The death toll continues to climb around Camp Forlorn Hope, where Legion raiding parties are still chipping away at the NCR's hold south of the dam. Moving on. Rumors persist about a super mutant refuge nestled high in the ski lodge to the northwest. If you should find it, do not, repeat, do not belittle a super mutant for taking the bunny slope. The preceding segment was sponsored by the Silver Rush. Silver Rush. Feel the rush of a warm laser in your hand. In New Vegas, we know the pain that numbers can bring us.
Who sent you? I ain't talking. They tried to get me to talk before, but I didn't say nothing. And I don't aim to now, by gum. Confound it, no bark, you done it again. You let on that you know things. Now they'll never let you be. All right, stranger, you got me. What do you want to know? There's been things of a disturbing nature going on at the McBride Corral. Seems every night one of their herd meets a most unnatural death, and always there's holes all over the body. Work of the chupacabra, the livestock vampire, says Nobark, but they don't pay no mind. Too many holes, they say, and there's bullets in them. Well, says Nobark, we got a chupacabra with an automatic weapon. And that's when they get real quiet, because now they see the predicament we're in. I come face to face with the chupacabra himself one night, whilst I was investigating whether this gecko was hiding his treasure from me. He was the meanest, ugliest chupacabra you could imagine. Had 2 heads and fangs down to the ground. Best I could tell anyways, since when he come up to me, he was invisible. Had himself a blunderbuss, what would rotate and shoot bullets real fast out of a backpack. Never seen nothing like it. Walked right past me having an argument with somebody. But I only saw one chupacabra, so I guess the other fella had to be invisible too, only more invisible than the other one. Folks will tell you that they seen ghouls up near the rocket factory. Sensationalist hooey, cooked up by superstitious yokels, seeing phantoms of their own imagining. Ghosts, commie ghosts, who don't know they're dead, hoping to steal our rockets so they can fly up and paint the moon pink and draw a Lenin face on it. I seen one of them disappear and reappear before my very eyes. Although, being a scientist, I have to admit I might have just blinked for longer than usual, what with the shock of seeing a commie ghost and so forth. 'Cause they know I ain't just barking here. What I say's got bite, 'cause it's the truth. Them quack doctors can say what they want about all the rat scorpion stings that done pierced my skull. I know what I seen. I don't trust a man that doesn't have something strange going on about him, 'cause it means he's hiding it from you. If a man's wearing his pants on his head, or if he says his words backwards from time to time, you know it's all laid out there for you. But if he's friendly to strangers and keeps his home spick and span, more often than not he's done something even his own ma couldn't forgive. Seen it all. Seen shadowy folk come to his room and leave again in the middle of the night. Thought one might have gone in the lobby, too, for a spell. Could be that person went in to get something. Or used the John, maybe. Mighty interesting either way, you ask me. I thought it was cannibals, come to eat us all for sure. So I kept out of sight. But now I know better. More rat men come up from the underneath to steal young women with promises of riches and fancy mud mansions with all the latest designer appliances. They covered our lady folks' long hair for wigs, it said, being either bald or balding themselves. If anyone asks, we never spoke.
Hey there. Well, welcome to you. You look tired from the road. Why don't you relax a spell? Let this fine town take care of you. Oh, what am I doing? I got to thinking about making a good impression and plain forgot to tell you my name. I'm Jeannie May. I take care of folks here at the motel, long as they aren't troublemakers. We're in a little desert oasis, name of Novak. This is the Dino Delight Motel, and it's mine. Well, there's Dinky, the town mascot. He's a sight. You probably already saw him when you came in, but you can go up inside, too. Up the road a ways to the west, there's Repcon. That's the old rocket factory. There's been some sinister characters out there lately, so you may want to stay clear. Other than that, nothing to do but take it easy and enjoy good company. Well, up north a ways, you'll see a big tower. That's Helios 1. Used to be a power plant in its day. And there's a town just east of here called Nelson. Used to be such a quaint little place until those slavers took it over. But we got our wonderful snipers keeping an eye in that direction, and so far, the slavers have left us alone. I just know what I've heard. There's supposed to be some ghouls that went in a while back. Ever so often, there'll be a commotion from that direction, explosions and such. Watch out for strangers. I hope you're finding everything to you. Nothing that wouldn't be wrong with any man who loses a wife, I suppose. Poor dear. I know he thinks she was kidnapped, but I'm not so sure she didn't just run off on her own. You could tell she was thinking about it ever since they arrived. Well, let's see. Dusty McBride's been losing some Brahmin, but that's probably the heat more than anything. Honestly, it's been real quiet. Ranger Andy's still hurt, but we got these two gentlemen snipers watching the road day and night, keeping the trash out of Novak. They've been a blessing. You can jump out the window for all I care, mister. You got no right to come in here and start criticizing our town. Folks work hard to keep it clean and safe. We do the best we can, but still, there's always some of you finicky types that there's just no pleasing. Well, it is. Not everybody appreciates it like they oughta. How should I put it? I guess you could say she was kinda like a cactus flower. Real pretty to look at, but there was just no getting close to her. She never did take to living here. She liked the big lights and fast living of New Vegas. I got the feeling she was trying to get Boone to leave with her, but I guess she got tired of waiting. Watch out.
So be sure it's true when you say I love you.
I know it's stupid to be mad about the boy. I'm so ashamed of it, but must admit the sleepless nights had about the boy. Oh, silver screen, he melts my foolish heart. Though I'm quite aware that here and there are traces of that about the boy. Lord knows I'm not a fool, girl. I really shouldn't care. Lord knows I'm not a schoolgirl in the flurry of affairs. will ever flaw this odd diversity.
Hey there. I hope you're finding... Well, I think that's a fine idea. I'll give you a good flat rate, and you can stay as long as you like. At least until... I'm glad you can stay. Your room will be the one... Here's your key. What?
I tried to measure my charisma on a Vitomatic vigor tester once. The machine burst into flames. This just in. Citizens of Outer Vegas are flocking to the strip in droves amid a wave of terror caused by a band of raiders known as the Beast. Those who can afford passports are saying the added security is well worth the price of admission. In addition, Prem formally sworn a new sheriff today. RNV reporters were on hand to hear the new sheriff address the crowd.
People of Prim, the NCR wishes to inform you that you are under their jurisdiction now. And from now on, you're gonna be living by our rules.
That news was brought to you by the Tops Casino. You'll dig us, baby. We're the Tops. Ladies and gentlemen, this next song goes out from me to you.
Hey there, need anything? Sure, here's what...
Welcome. Come on in. Welcome to the Dino Bite gift shop. My name's Cliff. If you're here for the T-Rex figurines, you're just in time. There's still a few left. Well, there's T-Rex figurines, of course. That's our bread and butter. We also have an assortment of the Repcon factory souvenirs, rockets, things of that nature. They're scale replicas of the real thing. Very detailed. Got a liquid in them that makes them glow. From what I hear, Repcon used to give them out on tours of their HQ up in Henderson. But I guess they had to stop after the first few kids thought they were filled with Nuka-Cola and drank it down. The papers had a name for the condition and everything. They called it the Repcon Shakes. Those were bad times for Robco. Well, they unloaded what they had left on the Dino Bite as a tax write-off, but that was before my time. Plenty of demand for them, seeing as how they're one-of-a-kind collector's items, but I might still have some in back. Guns? Well, yeah, I guess I might have a few. Darn it, no one ever buys the T-Rexes. Sure thing. Have a look.
but must admit the sleepless nights I had about the boy. On silver screen, he melts my foolish heart in every single scene. Though I'm quite aware that here and there are traces of
Come back soon.
Quite insane and young again, and all because of that
Welcome back to the program. This is Mr. New Vegas, and I hope I'm not coming on too strong. Whoops, better put on my newsman fedora here. Tensions are brewing in Freeside between the ruling gang known as the Kings and the large number of NCR squatters seeking refuge there. The leader of the Kings, who would only identify himself as the King, voiced his displeasure, calling NCR citizens, quote, the devil in disguise. He added he didn't want to see the NCR in the ghetto and called for a mass, quote, return to sender. In other news, traders from California are being turned away from Mojave Outpost, where the NCR is concerned about dangers along Nipton Highway and I-15. Well, that's all I have for you. This is Mr. New Vegas wishing you ladylike luck tonight. You know, sometimes the journey beats the destination, and especially if your spurs go jingle, jangle, jingle, and you meet some nice gals along the way.
Yippee-yay, there'll be no wedding bells for today. I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle, jingle, jangle, as I go right merrily along. And they sing, oh, ain't you glad you're single? Jingle, jangle, and that song ain't so very far from wrong. Oh, Lily Bell, oh, Lily Bell, though I may have done some fooling, this is why I never left. I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle, jingle, jangle, as I go right merrily along. Jingle, jangle, they sing, oh, ain't you glad you're single? Jingle, jangle, and that song ain't so very far from wrong. Oh, I got spurs that jingle,
I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle, as I go right merrily along. And they sing, oh, ain't you glad
and
you're
that
single?
song ain't so very far
And
from
that song
wrong.
ain't so very far from wrong.
Oh, Lily Bell, oh, Lily Bell, though I may have done some fooling, this is why I never ride. I got spurs that jingle,
I got
jangle,
spurs that jingle,
as I
jangle,
go
jingle,
right merrily
as I go
along.
right merrily along.
Oh, ain't you glad
And they
you're
sing,
single?
oh, ain't you glad
And
you're
that
single?
song ain't so very far
And that
from
song
wrong.
ain't so very far from wrong.
that I feel something magic in the air tonight, and I'm not just talking about the gamma radiation. Here are our top stories. Patrons of the Ultralux are questioning whether its pricey restaurant, the Gourmand, is overstating the fullness of its wait list. Those who claim to have dined at the restaurant find the food appealing, but say many tables remain empty. Also in the headlines, the influx of displaced residents to the refugee camp at Bitter Springs has caused a strain on rations there. NCR officials are asking for donations. Promotional consideration for this news program has been paid for by the Ultralux. The Ultralux. Live life in the lap of luxury. You're gonna love this next song, I guarantee it.
You have any luck with the ghouls? Yeah.
As though there were no tomorrow. Take me out of this world tonight. Take me, make me forget my sorrow. So when I wake tomorrow, I'll know our love was right. Kiss me as though it were now or never. Kiss me all that a heart should know. Love me as though there were no tomorrow. Oh, my darling, love me. Don't ever let me go. Love me as though there were no tomorrow.
I hope you're finding... Go see Cliff Briscoe at the Dino Bite gift shop and tell him I sent you. I think he gets lonely standing around in that dino belly all day. He'll be glad for the company. What?
Sleep, oh, to sleep. Just lay down your weary head. Dream, sweetly dream. Dream about tomorrow instead. Sleep, go to sleep.
Howdy. Well, butter my butt and call me a biscuit if it ain't my old friend from Good Spring. Don't rightly know. I just got the notion to make my way to New Vegas. Reckon I'll find out when I get there. No back? Nice enough place, I suppose. Between you and me, when I rolled into town, my skin started to itch. Watch yourself. No, don't believe I did. But you might ask around. The Novak folk usually see anyone traveling this way. Likewise, friend, likewise. Well, this ain't New Vegas, but I reckon you can find what you need. Be safe.
hope you're finding it.
When an
What?
irresistible force such as you meets an old immovable object like me, you can bet just as sure as you live.
You shouldn't be here. If whoever did this, don't come.
Hey, you can...
Warms an old implacable heart such as mine. Don't say no, 'cause I insist. When somehow
I hope you're finding every...
so I'm gone.
Okay, if that's what you think.
Who knows what the fates have in store from their vast, mysterious sky. I'll try hard, ignoring those lips I adore. But how long can anyone try? Fight it with all of our might. Chances are some heavenly stars spangled night. We'll find out as sure as we live. Something's gotta give, something's gotta give, something's gotta give.
Women of New Vegas ask me a lot if there's a Mrs. New Vegas. Well, of course there is. You're her. And you're still as perfect as the day we met. All the latest news coming your way right now. The influx of displaced residents to the refugee camp at Bitter Springs has caused a strain on rations there. NCR officials are asking for donations. In addition, the Black Mountain radio signal is back after a long absence. Listeners say that new programming is, quote,
That's it then. How did you know? I guess I shouldn't be surprised. It'd be like them to keep paperwork. Here. This is all I can give. I think our dealings are done here. I don't know. I won't be staying, I know that. Don't see much point in anything right now, except hunting legionaries. Maybe I'll wander. Like you. You don't want to do that. Yeah. Working on your own, you're a lot less effective. I've been there and paid for it. But this isn't gonna end well. Fine. Let's get out of here. What is it? I was in a lot of places with First Recon. I don't really remember. That part of my life's over now. And so is his discussion. He was a good spotter. Yeah, we were. No. Sure. First NCR Recon. It's a sniper battalion. Sees a lot of action. They moved us around a lot. I was stationed at Camp Golf for a while. Last I heard, they're at Camp McCarran. They pick you out if you do well at the firing range. It pays a little better, so I said okay. Yeah. You could tell by the patch. Bear skull with crossed rifles behind it. Slogan underneath. The last thing you never see. Pretty accurate. And so are we. Was an airport before the war. Command liked it because it was already fortified, and it let them keep an eye on the strip. They've got an old monorail that still runs between them, used mostly for supplies and deployment. But if you get leave, you're allowed to go gamble. Was General Oliver's post. but I heard he's been up at the dam a lot lately. Guessing Colonel Shu is running it. Didn't know him. He's a signature on my discharge papers. Wasn't real popular, though. Even overheard my CO complain about him once. A General Wait and See, he called him. Yeah, he introduced himself to me once. I shook his hand. Doubt he remembered me now, though. When he looked at you, you could see he understood. After some of the things we'd seen, that meant something. But I heard he'd be a general right now if Oliver didn't know the president. The big one. The one the NCR is trying to hold on to, that the Legion's pushing for. Whole war depends on holding it. It was on the front line for a while. Only resort in New Vegas no one wanted to get sent to. Doesn't have that kind of importance anymore, though. They pulled most of the troops out of there after we took the Hoover Dam. All right. You got no right asking me that. Drop it. You don't know what you're asking. Just, the Legion's the only... No. People die out there. Often enough that no one worries about blame. They're too anxious to forget it happened in the first place, I guess. Besides, I was on break when it happened. Okay. It's NCR land for the most part. We tamed it. Now we're settling it. A lot of people complain about it, but they forget what it was like before we showed up. It's a lot of territory to secure. Too much, even for a big army like the NCR's. Coming east was about securing the land so people could live without fear. It's not always that simple, but I think the cause is still right. And God help us if they lose. Yeah, lots of thoughts. All about the best ways to kill them. Yeah.
How you doing? Hey there. If you want to buy... Come back.
It's a sin to tell. Millions of hearts have been broken just because these words were spoken. I yes, if you break my heart, so be sure it's true when you say I love you. It's a sin to tell a lie.
Be sure it's true when you say I love you, honey. You got sense enough to know it's a sin to tell a lie. Get out of my... A whole lot of folks' hearts done been broken. Just over a whole lot of foolish words.
So be sure it's true when you say I love you.
This is Radio New Vegas, and I'm your host, Mr. New Vegas. And in case you're wondering if you've come to the right place, you have. All the latest news coming your way right
Look
now.
who's here.
Find anything? Well, I don't know how you've done it, but I do know how I can thank you. Please take this, compliments of, and help yourself to anything in that freezer over yonder.
In Nelson, where it remains a constant concern for Camp Forlorn Hope and the nearby town of Novak. Promotional consideration for this news program has been paid for by the Ultralux. The Ultralux. Live life in the lap of luxury. Have you ever been in love with a celebrity? Now come on, you don't have to be shy. I feel it between us two. Sometimes you can't help being mad about the boy.
I know it's stupid to be mad about the boy. I'm so ashamed of it, but must admit, sleepless nights I had about the boy. Ah, silver stream, he melts my foolish heart. Every single scene. Though I'm quite aware that here and there are traces of the cat about the boy. Lord knows I'm not a fool girl. Lord knows I'm not a schoolgirl in the flurry of will it ever fall? This odd diversity of misery I'm quite insane and young again, and all
Hi there. I'm Old Lady Gibson, or so they tell me. I've got odds and ends for sale, and I'm pretty good at fixing things, too. You might have noticed the very large building just north of here. That's Helios 1. The NCR runs the place, so it's off limits to prospectors. Sometimes it seems like I spent the better portion of my youth in that old wreck of a building. Me and my hubby, may the man rest in peace, used to scavenge there. If it weren't bolted down, you can bet we took it and sold it. A lot of the scrap you see around here is from Repcon, even my favorite chair. The way I heard it, the Brotherhood of Steel ran the place before the NCR took it away from them. I'm not sure who started shooting first. But when it was over, the Brotherhood, with all their fancy armor and weapons, was on the run. Nobody's heard from them since. Well, I'll give you a hint. They used to just call me Gibson. I hope you can figure out the rest. I don't mind, to be honest. Living long is a real accomplishment these days. Remains to be seen if I end up dying peaceful in my bed.
Maybe you're cold, but you're so warm inside.
take it.
Subject E, diagnosis complete. Begin recording. My name is Whitley. I'm a researcher at Adams Air Force Base. Until recently, I was in charge of the Duraframe reinforcement project for the combat model iBots. iBot Duraframe Subject E is both the prototype and the last functional model in this test group. I was prepared to make several significant upgrades to the machines. However, as the project was canceled and all Duraframe assets are being diverted to Hellfire armor, I'm sending this model to the Navarro outpost. If you're listening to this log from one of our Enclave outposts in Chicago, give this unit whatever repairs it needs so it can continue to Navarro.
What is it? Fine by me.